Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation of the Akim, pushing out the word in truth and sincerity of the hopeful elect around the globe. All right. I'd like to get into the topic of, I'm going to title this, We're Not Here. We are not all here for the same shit. Okay. Sign along those lines. We're not all here for the same thing. Okay. All right, be it the elect of Israel, all right, which is the Lord's chosen people. Okay, they have a very different purpose from the wicked of our people, and definitely a very different purpose from the heathen. Okay, so we'll speak a little bit about the offices, okay, of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and how, the work is plenteous, but the laborers are few. Okay, and not all are meant to do the same thing. A prophet is not meant to do the same thing as a help. A help is not supposed to do the same thing as a healer. A healer, there is such accounts in the scriptures of men wearing many hats, so to speak. You know how the world says, like when you have many different occupations. Like King David, for example, he was a king, all right. He was a judge. He was a prophet. He was a musician. He was a warrior. Okay, he had many qualities. All right. And so he filled many offices because he was a great and beloved man that the Lord was dealing with. Okay. Which David means beloved. Okay. So that's just a small example. Well, we'll read a little bit about it here in Romans 12. Romans 12, I'll start at the top. Romans 12:1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Heavenly Father, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice. All right? The elect are going to be presented as a living sacrifice. And what does that mean? Means that you're turning your back on this world, all right? And you're showing face to the Heavenly Father. You're seeking the Heavenly Father's face. The Apostle Gabar a couple months back, did a great lesson on that, about seeking the face of the Lord, which means seeking this knowledge. Okay, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Heavenly Father, right? Because even us having breath in us still, all right, the scriptures speak about that the wages of sin are death. We're supposed to be put to death, but by the mercies of the Heavenly Father is why we're still even breathing. By the mercies of the Heavenly Father, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, all right, which means separate. You want to be separate from the world, holy, acceptable unto the Most High. What makes you acceptable unto the Most High? Being righteous, all right, which is your reasonable service. Why is it your reasonable service? Because it's for your own damn good. The scriptures talk about the law, and it not being grievous to us. Why? Because it's for our own damn good. Okay, so us serving the Heavenly Father, faithfully, all right, being that faithful servant, you're right, is our reasonable service, because like especially the times we're approaching, all right, famine, pestilence, wrath, plagues coming upon the earth. Well, the Lord said that my servant shall eat. All right, so we have a reward. Okay, if you serve him faithfully, diligently, right? And be not conformed to this world, which means with the form. Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. All right, you want to renew your mind coming into this word, being reborn. All right, putting away the lies, putting away the old man of wickedness and sin and filth. All right, and now be reborn in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, that's what renews your mind, this word, renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. All right, so by renewing yourself, renewing your mind, is that now you're equipped to prove, all right, what is good and acceptable and the perfect will of the Most High, by walking holy, all right, being an example, right? The scriptures talk about faith without works is dead. So now if you have true faith, you're going to work it out. You're going to work out your salvation with fear and trembling. You're going to fear the Lord and keep his commandments. You're going to walk in his ways to the best of your ability. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, all right? You don't want to exalt yourself. The scriptures talk about he that exalts himself shall be abased. So you have to be humble All right. Yeah, you're supposed to be bold in this truth. We're set apart. We're given the words of the Heavenly Father, the eye salve, the oil. All right. As it is written in Isaiah, He has made our tongue like a sword. Okay. He will make it give us a mouth that our adversaries will not be able to gainsay. Okay. But the scriptures also speak about knowledge puffing you up. So stay humble. All right. To every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly. All right. Think clearly, and without these false doctrines, drunk off this Babylonian wine, these Egyptian philosophies, these pagan philosophies, this Babylonian customs, ancient Roman customs, Greeks play, all this idol worship that ultimately goes back to the worship of other gods. All right. Think soberly, according as the Most High hath dealt to every man the measure of faith. For as we have many members in one body, okay, and this is the point, for as we have many members in one body, and all members have not the same office. All right. That's what we're surrounding our lesson off of. We're not all here for the same thing. Okay. For as we have many members in one body, all right, and all members have not the same office, so we being many are one body in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, or one body in the Hamashiach, and every one members one of another, okay, having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us, all right, through the grace and mercy of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is that we have been given these gifts. Okay. Whether prophecy, let us prophesy according to the proportion of faith. All right. Because the Heavenly Father didn't give this to one man, like the apostles always say, like certain visions that Daniel received, Esdras didn't. And certain visions that Esdras received, Daniel didn't. And so forth. Jeremiah saw certain things that Isaiah didn't see. Some things they saw similarly. Some things they're written of the same account, told in a different way. Sometimes it's speaking of two completely different accounts. Okay. So having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us, whether prophecy, let us prophesy according to the proportion of faith, or ministry, let us wait on our ministering, or he that teacheth on teaching, or he that exhorteth on exhortation. All right. He that giveth, let him do it with simplicity. He that ruleth with diligence. He that showeth mercy with cheerfulness. Okay. So everyone has a different office. Everyone is to be moving accordingly within the one body of the common goal. All right. So when it says you speak the same things, yeah, a prophet of the Lord and a minister of the Lord and a teacher of the Lord and a one that exhorteth of the Lord should be on the same page. All right. They're supposed to be on the same page in one mind. All right. But they hold different offices. Okay. So that's what we're talking about. Let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil. Cleave to that which is good. Be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love, in honoring, preferring one another. Not slothful in business. All right, because this is the Lord's business. All right, like Yahushua rebuked his mother, when she was looking for him after he had disappeared, so-called 3 days. All right, and he was 12 years old, and she found him teaching in the temple. He told her, you know that I'm of my father's business. Roughly paraphrasing. So this is a business. This is the Lord's work. All right, the scriptures talk about the talent. The talents given and how you're supposed to go out and bring forth fruit with it. All right. You're not supposed to be a so-called napkin nigga, like the apostles say. That slothful servant that kept his talent hidden in a napkin. All right. That he didn't go forth and invest the Lord's money and come back with more fruit. Okay. The Lord has no use for that. You know, that's the whole parable of the fig tree, because it didn't produce fruit. You know, right? It was of no use, and the Lord cursed it and it withered away. Okay, not slothful in business, fervent in spirit. All right, so you're supposed to be on fire. All right, that word is synonymous with fever. Fervent in spirit, serving the Lord, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer. Okay, instant, right this minute, right this second, in prayer. You continue in it. Scriptures talk about pray without ceasing. All right, rejoicing in hope. Okay, that's what we take hope in. That's what we rejoice in. That's where our happiness lies, in the faith and hope of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. We're patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer, distributing to the necessity of saints. All right, which the saints are the Israelites, given to hospitality. So we're supposed to distribute to the necessity of saints, which some Israelites, you know, may be lost. Many of them are lost. You know, they need to know the truth. Okay, be it of conversation that starts maybe based off history. All right, maybe secular history. All right, a conversation about the herbs, you know, and health. Okay, diet. All right, that's the way you're distributing to the necessity of the saints. The Israelites need to know what their proper diet is. They need to know who their power is, who the Heavenly Father is, who's the Son. All right, they need to know what their identity and heritage is. All right, so that's what we're distributing to. We're distributing to the necessity of the saints. Our people need the whole thing. They need the whole truth. All right, John 8:32 says, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. All right, so this is more reason why the work is plenteous, but the laborers are few. Okay, and there's so many offices. Okay, and the men of the Lord, you know, are short staffed. All right, for lack of a better term. All right, distributing to the necessity of the saints, given to hospitality. All right, let's jump over to First Corinthians. First Corinthians 12. All right. Spirit. Okay, I'll start at First Corinthians 12 and 4. Now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. All right. So what we're going into, there's different gifts, but the same Spirit, the Spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, in one mind, one doctrine. All right. Now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit, and there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord. All right. The apostles and elders always go into that, how there's levels to this. All right. There's an order. The Lord works with order. Okay, the scriptures say, let all things be done in decency and in order. Order is critical. Order is holy. Okay, so without order, okay, the duality, all right, which I did a lesson on that not too long ago. So if order brings righteousness and holiness and good vibrations, the opposite of that is disorder. All right, and through disorder comes chaos, and on a negative vibration, as disorder, chaos, you know, more negative things breed. Okay, it's just a law of life, a law of nature, a law of the Heavenly Father. You reap what you sow. Okay, now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit, and there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord, and there are diversities of operations, but it is the same God which worketh all in all. Okay, so there's different operations. It may look like this brother's doing something different, but that's his strength. Maybe his strength is he's real good at the Hebrew. All right, this brother's strength is that he's real good at going into the history. This brother's good at going into the prophecies and the breakdowns. Okay, There are diversities of operations, but it is the same God which worketh all in all. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal. Okay? But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal. For to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit. Okay? So the source of these gifts is still the Spirit of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. For to one is given the Spirit the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another the gifts of healing by the same Spirit, to another the working of miracles, to another prophecy, to another discerning of spirits, to another diverse kinds of tongues, to another the interpretation of tongues. But all these worketh that one and the selfsame Spirit, dividing to every man severally as he will. Okay? So that's deep, man. You know, we're not all here for the same things. Now, everybody may be a prophet, but that doesn't mean that they're not a man of the Lord. He may be endowed with the spirit of healing. This man may be endowed with the spirit of knowledge on a particular area. This brother is good with the different languages, okay? But we all make up the body of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right? So don't be disencouraged if you feel that maybe you're not a prophet, or maybe you're not again, I've quoted this enough, so let me get it real quick. All right, Matthew 9:37. Then saith he unto his disciples, this is the words of Yahushua, the harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest that he will send forth laborers into his harvest. That's why we see people laboring right here. We have the illustration up on the screen. The harvest truly is plenteous, all right? The kingdom of heaven is in abundance, you know. It won't be lacking in any way. All right, that's ultimately the harvest that we're trying to reap. All right, let's go into that. The Greek word for harvest, meaning therismos, harvest, the act of reaping, of the gathering of men into the kingdom of the Most High. All right, referring to time of reaping, the final judgment, when the righteous are gathered into the kingdom of the Most High and the wicked are cast into hell. All right. We know that that's ultimately the judgment of Babylon the Great. These missiles that are going to engulf this continent of North America, all right, and other places around the world that are going to be destroyed, all right, in the Third World War. So the harvest truly is plenteous, all right. The kingdom of heaven is in abundance, but the laborers are few. The ones that are working towards the Heavenly Father's kingdom, okay, are few. All right, so we're short, we're hiring, okay. The scriptures talk about those of you that be troubled, come rest with us. All right, but the rest that we're gonna enter into is gonna be through much labor and trial and tribulation, okay. But we will have our rest. We will have our reward. The scriptures speak about that. You know, the Lord is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love. Okay, but all these worketh that one and the selfsame Spirit, dividing to every man severally as he will. For as the body is one and hath many members, and all the members of that one body, being many, are one body, so also is Yahushua. For by one Spirit are we all baptized into one body. All right, we're cleansed. All right, baptism means to be cleansed. Okay, you're pretty much being reborn. Okay, so it's not the idea of the fake church, it's the idea of more Psalms 119:9, where it says, wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto unto thy word. All right, so by taking heed to this word is how you're cleansed. All right, For as the one body is many members, or for by one Spirit are we all baptized, are we cleansed into one body, all right? Whether we be Jews or Gentiles, all right? Which the Gentiles is the people, okay? The Gentiles that could receive salvation, they're the people. They're the Lord's chosen people by bloodline, but they were just in a Gentile mind state, believing that they're so-called Puerto Rican, so-called Dominican, so-called Uruguayan, so-called Ecuadorian, so-called Black, so-called Negro, so-called Haitian, all right? So-called Indian. All these made-up names, all right? The covering cast that was put upon us and the other nations, all right, as a veil to cover who's who, all right? To help this devil in his agenda of stolen identity, all right? Trying to be us. For by one Spirit are we all baptized into one body, whether we be Jews or Gentiles, all right? Speaking of the Israelite foreigners, whether we be bond or free, and have been all made to drink into one Spirit. Yeah, the Israelites, because Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the Son of God himself, said that he didn't come to bring peace on earth, but a sword, that he is not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Okay? So that's the Spirit that it's talking about. That's the one Spirit that is speaking to the children of Israel. By Israel, for Israel, by the God of Israel. All right? The Heavenly Father Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God. All right? Whether we be bond or free, and have been all made to drink into one Spirit. For the body is not one member, but many. If the foot shall say, because I am not the hand, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? And if the ear shall say, because I am not the eye, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? If the whole body were an eye, where were the hearing? If the whole were hearing, where were the smelling? Okay? So again, if the whole body were an eye, where would it hear? Okay? Where's the hearing if the whole body is an eye? Okay? If the whole were hearing, all right, if your whole body was an ear, where were the smelling? Where's your nose? Okay? So that's going into how the eye has its importance, but it's not to discredit the importance of the ear, and the ear is not to discredit the importance of the eye, and they're not to discredit the importance of the nose, okay? Because they're all many members, but of one body. Same thing applies here. No matter what your office is, okay, you are working towards that acceptable will of the Most High, that salvation, this gospel, this ministry, okay, of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You're working towards that one body, that perfect kingdom that's being established. But now hath the Most High set the members, every one of them, in the body, as it hath pleased him. Okay? So again, that goes back to we are not all here for the same thing. And really, I was gonna go into the difference between the elect and the wicked. The wicked, you people are born in vain. That's in the scriptures. All right, we're made for the day of evil and destruction. Okay. But, the Spirit had it that we went into the different offices in righteousness as well. All right? So there's different offices within righteousness. But even these people that have the office of Satan, of being the wicked, okay? And we are not here for the same thing, okay? And that's the masses. So don't let the masses influence you. The scriptures say that the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the ways of the wicked seduceth them. So whether it's an evil 2/3 or these heathens, you're not supposed to let them seduce you, all right, to make you go astray, all right? And even within the body, all right? If this brother is real good in the history or something, or this man may be a mighty prophet, he's a good prophet, that's not to disencourage you, just because maybe you're not as good in the prophecies, you're not as good in the breakdowns of the history, all right? Maybe you have another strength, okay? Maybe you're not an eye, but you're an ear. Maybe you're not an ear, but a nose, okay? So your strength is smelling. Your strength is hearing. All right. That brother's strength is to see. You know. That's the symbolism behind. Salakia. That's the symbolism behind what we're reading right here. Okay. But now hath the Most High set the members, every one of them, in the body as it hath pleased him. All right. So that brother was given that strength by the Heavenly Father to be a good prophet. That brother was given the strength by the Heavenly Father to be a good historian. That brother is a good healer. You know, he goes into the herbs. So that's not to discredit the brother that's a healer. Because this brother's good at prophesying. Or that's not to discredit the brother that's good at prophesying because he's not as good at healing, or his knowledge of the herbs, or he's not strong in the history, whatever it may be. Okay? So you're supposed to find your office and what your strength is and fully utilize it to the body of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right? Because the Lord gave you that strength and it pleases him for you to use it. All right? And if they were all one member, where were the body? Okay? But now are they many members, yet but one body. And the eye cannot say unto the hand, I have no need of thee, nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you. Nay, much more those members of the body which seem to be more feeble are necessary. And those members of the body which we think to be less honorable, upon these we bestow more abundant honor, and our uncomely parts have more abundant comeliness. For our comely parts have no need, but the Most High hath tempered the body together, having given more abundant honor to that part which lacked, that there should be no schism in the body, but that the members should have the same care one for another. All right, so the Heavenly Father did that for a reason. The Heavenly Father wants to see a brotherhood. He wants to see the body working together. He wants to see this person utilize their strength, this person utilize their strength, and together, they will bring forth more abundantly. Okay, because even that small insignificant member, all right, was very important. For example, your smallest toe. Try walking without that. It may seem like a small toe that you could do without it. That will throw your whole balance off. You'll damn near have to learn how to walk again. All right, without that little toe. Okay. And the Lord did it, so we need one another. All right. That's why we read that let brotherly love abound. That there should be no schism in the body, but that the members should have the same care one for another. And whether one member suffer, all the members suffer with it. Or one member be honored, all the members rejoice with it. Okay? I know Apostle Gabar went into several times. He's gone into that throughout the years, how he feels, especially once you're seasoned like that, 30 years in the truth, after several years in the truth, you should kind of know what your strengths are and how you're of best use to the body of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But yeah, the Apostle Gabar would go into how he feels in this ministry, and even one of his main purposes was to assist the Apostle Tahar. All right, and they have their ministry, the ministry Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, starting with apostles and elders, has been fruitful through connections like that. The apostles fueling one another, iron sharpen iron, strengthening one another. Where one may lack, the other one is strong in, and vice versa. Okay. So whether one member suffer, all the members suffer with it, or one member be honored, all the members rejoice with it. And all of us, if we're of the elect and we're working towards that one body, all right, from the greatest to the least, all right, we're all going to rejoice together when we make it up out of here. Okay? And there isn't going to be any schisms. Okay, any divisions amongst us. Now ye are the body of Yahushai, and the members in particular. And the Most High has set some in the church, first apostles, secondarily prophets, thirdly teachers, after that miracles, then gifts of healings, helps, governments, diversities of tongues. Are all apostles? Are all prophets? Are all teachers? Are all workers of miracles? Have all the gifts of healing? Do all speak with tongues? Do all interpret? But covet earnestly the best gifts, and yet shew I unto you a more excellent way. Okay? So what you're supposed to covet, okay, what you're supposed to desire earnestly is the best gifts, whatever you're best at, okay? And yet show I unto you a more excellent way, okay? The more excellent way is that this kingdom is going to be established. This great harvest, all right? There's going to be laborers, all right, to till it, to gather it, okay? And the Lord is going to establish his kingdom based on them, okay? So with that, I pray brothers and a few sisters was edified, all right? To find an office, find your strength, utilize it, pray on it if you don't know what your strengths are, all right? If you do know, pray that the Lord strengthens them even more, all right? For the as we approach the great and terrible day, okay? That we're gonna need our gifts and to its utmost, all right? If you're lacking, you could pray on the Lord to help you where you lack, all right? So you don't fall short, to give you whatever tools you need to make it to salvation, which it's all this is about, all right? To be saved, to get mercy, to attain mercy from him, to be found favorable and accepted to him on that day that he's going to come as a thief in the night to the rest of the world, okay? So you're not caught up unawares, all right? So with that, I pray the brothers and the few sisters was edified. Till next time, shalom. All honor, love, glory, praise, and reverence to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. Shalom.